I consider myself creative. I use creative as a noun, and as an adjective. So I am creative and I am a creative.
I'm Jimmy Bruce, president of Eastern Gateway Community College. We're proud to sponsor this thought-provoking interview series with community leaders who, through perseverance and determination, are being who they want to be and making a difference in the Mahoning Valley.
Do you have any sort of philosophy or any advice that you tend to give a lot to your students?
I tell my students, be kind, work hard, and always be working. I've never had an opportunity come out of being mean to someone. And with City of View, that's like pinnacle kindness for me because I've been doing this for 5 years for free. It's taken time away from my family and my child and, sometimes out of the classroom to make sure that it was done right and it represents everyone. So, sacrifice and working hard is a part of getting to where you need to be.
What do you see for yourself in the next few years? A book, perhaps? Will you stay teaching, do you think, if your business takes off?
Right now, I see myself teaching and doing this practice, this work, simultaneously. But should a success or two happen that takes me away from the classroom, then I would feel obligated to pursue it, which makes giving up tenure very difficult. But I'm also operating under the premise of, I'm still that kid inside where I don't know what tomorrow's going to be or if there will be one. Or I'm 34 now. Do I only have 6 years left of life? So I want to pursue what I can and what I've been blessed with as adamantly and as emotionally and passionately as possible.
What is the prognosis, though? You said there's new medicine out there for cystic fibrosis, and you're doing much, much better. Yeah,
so I'm on gene therapy, so my DNA is being manipulated. So what's happening is I'm on a medication called Symdeko, and that suppresses my symptoms. So, I can do anything that you can do or anyone else, perhaps sometimes better. But that does not stop the fact that cystic fibrosis is a degenerative disease. As I get older, the worse it gets, no matter how the medications only, subdue the digression, so to speak. So I don't have any illusions about my life ending because of my illness. But even if that is not the case, it is still a great motivator. And without it, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I've had doctors and parents and families and my wife tell me for years on end, you need to slow down, and that's not going to happen. So it's because I can't. And if I were to, I wouldn't be true to myself. What comes next is the future. So right now, I'm working on a project where I live for the borough of Bellevue in Pennsylvania. And it's a project called Bellevue Believes, and it's a storytelling platform where we're integrating members of the community with high schoolers, business owners, and similar to the City of View, we're telling their stories, but we're having a very in-depth sort of approach to revitalizing the community. So right now, Bellevue is celebrating a lot of investment, and we want to keep that going. And it also so happens that Bellevue is the first community on Route 65. Route 65 in Pennsylvania stretches, I think, for 50 some odd miles across 15 different communities. So what we want to do with Bellevue Believes is create a model for communication. No matter how big or small the borough is, we want that to apply to the community that follows, and the one after that, and the one after that, all the way up until we get into Beaver County. So we're also involved in a Route 65 corridor study that we're going to be looking at placemaking, wayfinding, traffic and transportation studies, and integrating that into our work. Liberty Township, I'm hoping to do some really cool work for them in terms of creative placemaking that will ultimately result in a National Endowment for the Arts Our Town grant application. I'm going to be speaking about Bellevue and Youngstown at several national conferences this year. I've had the good fortune of being able to present on the City of U over 20 times.
That's exciting.
Across the country. Ultimately, what I hope to do is take all of these learned experiences and wrap that into a book and say, okay, X Community and Revival, take this book, here's how you're going to do it. And then, they'll be self-sufficient and they can mobilize on their own.
And that's exciting to you to know that you have all this ahead of you. I
Yeah,
guess.
oh yeah. Easily looking at the next 2 to 3 years of my life alone. I'm also helping build a digital humanities center here at YSU. So I'm working with a lot of faculty in departments that are not art.
You said you don't consider yourself artistic.
I consider myself creative. I use creative as a noun, as an adjective. So I am creative and I am a creative. So years ago when I was a teenager, I sacrificed my illustration skills to learn how to code. So what's interesting about that is I didn't think I was really that good of an illustrator anyway, even though I got like a few awards for it, whatever. I learned how to be creative with other tools. And I thought that opened up an entirely new and different world for me. So how do you be creative with math, for example? Programming is logic, it's math. And what's interesting about that is when I was a teenager, I had a learning disability in math. And what I found out was that it was how I was being taught that wasn't clicking with my style of learning. So it was when I entered into like a programming class in high school that everything clicked. It made sense. And it wasn't so much the process of math, it was the fact that I was like using logic in my thinking. So I straddled these two worlds of logic and creativity. And art kind of meets in the middle. So I don't necessarily see myself as a full-blown artist. I see myself in that very balanced, creative sort of position. So if you were to ask me to draw a picture of you, I'm not going to do it because it'd be embarrassing. But if you were to ask me to say, hey, help me develop a business plan, okay, yeah, I can do that because there's logic and there are systems that I respond to that I can be creative within. And at times I do refer to myself as a systems designer. So I look at entire systems and I either build them or manipulate them or revise them to fit specific goals. And I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy government is the systems. And one, how when they work at their best is how well they're designed, and when they're not working efficiently is obviously a symptom of poor design. And I can come in and say, all right, well, let's try these different things and see what works. So. Well,
thank you for what you've done for the city of Youngstown and all the yous who are in it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And it was nice talking with you.
Likewise,
Thank you.
I'm Jimmy Bruce, president of Eastern Gateway Community College. We're proud to sponsor this thought-provoking interview series with community leaders who, through perseverance and determination, are being who they want to be and making a difference in the Mahoning Valley.